Hello everyone, it's Stray Faye here with another episode of Olympia Soiree. Alright, in the last episode, in Yasoga's route, we learned some terrible backstory about him. It was interesting, but yeah, it was very sad. We learned about Yasoga's past, his entire family, clan, and pretty much his entire color class got wiped out by Haku, and they blamed him for it. I mean, not like a 5-year-old did it, but they're just like, yeah, you're banished. Yeah, which doesn't really make sense, because yeah, he was 5 years old. I guess maybe they just put the crimes, of his family for not being able to deal with it on him. But they're still creating a purple class, which is weird. Not sure I feel like all those babies being raised in, like, the hospital. They feel like they're very susceptible to maybe, like, farming people in there. And then, there was also talk about finding a cure for Haku, and Byakuya offered some blood to Kuroba, because we're very wary about just going to the hospital with Sakyo. Alrighty, so let's begin chapter 3 of Yasoga's route, called Outsider. Not talking about the outsiders though, that came from like outside the island, like Japan. Alright, now then, back to delivering letters I go! Alright, happy Byakuya's here. Hi, and then Daifuku.
Have a wonderful day, Hime!
As I put on my jacket, a certain thought crossed my mind. It seems Camellia and Juliet are able to communicate with each other. I often see them walking down the corridors in conversation. Are we gonna try to communicate with Daifuku? Daifuku, I want you to come with me today.
Accompanying you again today? I'd love to.
Alright, we got our protective hamster who will sometimes run off to just get food. Nothing for today so far. Alright, well I guess she has lots of free time. Camellia popped out of nowhere as I lowered the cover on the letterbox. Good morning! Did you find anything in there? Camellia, perfect timing. There weren't any letters inside, but do you mind if I ask you a favor? Oh, what is it? Daifuku, I brought out Daifuku from my bag and held him in my hand. I heard you're able to speak with Juliet. Could you possibly tell me what Daifuku is saying? An interpreter, okay, that works. Gasp. Suddenly, from out of Camellia's pocket came Juliet. Huh? Ah, I see. Humans aren't able to speak with mice. Daifuku, is there anything you want to say to her?
Huh?
Come on, no need to be shy. Daifuku wriggled a bit as if he was embarrassed and looked up at me.
I'm very happy and grateful to Hime for saving my life. All I wish now is to serve Hime forever. I pray for the White's prosperity and the Sun Goddess's divine protection. I'm sure Hime will be able to find her soulmate.
That's a lot of squeaks, he said. So, what is he saying? Is he talking about food? Wow, he said something so much more profound. I guess, yeah, like, if you expected, like, your dog to start talking, or your cat, it would just be like, food, 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 pets, pets, food ball. It's like, that's all they're interested in. He said he's very happy and grateful that you saved his life. All he wants now is to serve you forever, and he prays for the prosperity of the White and the Sun Goddess's divine protection. Yeah, I'd be kind of weirded out if, like, my pet just be like, praise be the sun. Like, what? And he says he's sure you'll find your soulmate. Huh? Daifuku nodded repeatedly as if agreeing with her.
I too will pray for your good fortune, Hime. You will certainly find a kind and handsome husband.
Oh, and Julia is saying that she's sure you're gonna find a good husband too. The two mice nodded repeatedly in unison. I didn't know they cared so much for me. I was like, I didn't know they knew that I was looking for a husband.
I like you a lot, Hime.
He says he likes you. Thank goodness. I'm so glad. I always thought he was trying to talk to me, but I couldn't understand what he was saying. It seems really inconvenient sometimes to be human. And then again, I envy that you don't need to have your spring wound. I guess so. There are easy and difficult things for both humans and dolls. Yeah, we just need to eat. I'm guessing she doesn't need to eat. I'm happy to interpret for you, so bring him by anytime. Thank you. Next time, it'd be nice if we had Paris with us too. Gotta invite Tokisada. Ah, great idea. I'll let Lord Tokisada know. Thank you. I let Daifuku burrow back into my bag, then looked at the letterbox again. I haven't received any letters yet, but I'll come back later in the afternoon to check. Sounds like a plan. Then I'll see you again later. See you. Alright, to the Sundial Plaza, just sit there waiting for a husband. Okay, now then. What should I do? Or what should I do about my search for a husband? Sit there, twiddling your thumbs. I looked out at the people passing by as I sat on a bench in the plaza. Yosuga's fortune made it sound as though I'd find my husband rather quickly, but... I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you did find him rather quickly. Like, within the week. You just had to realize that you liked him. Oh? Feeling someone looking at me, I turned around. Uh-oh, is it bad looks? There's a lot of people who'd be looking at us here. No one's there. This wasn't an unusual thing. It was common for me to feel someone's gaze only to find them running away when I turned around. This time I felt the cold gaze pierce me more clearly than before. I stood up and looked around, but I didn't see anyone looking at me like that. Oh, that's scary. Especially since, like, Yosuga... Like, Yosuga is the love interest this time. He can't go up to the surface, so, like, he can't be around to, like, protect her. Am I imagining things? It felt really spooky. Like someone is speaking ill of me. I suddenly took notice of some boys glancing furtively at me from afar. I wonder if it's coming from them. I looked at one of them directly in the eye. Suddenly, like baby spiders, they quickly scattered and fled. Just that like comparison always like makes me laugh. It's like what are they just scattering in like a million different directions with like their arms flailing? Like like aren't they like a group hanging out? Oh, Yusuke. I was like, it was like Yusuke and Yosuga, very similar looking names. I'm not worthy of standing before you. Forgive me. Forgive me. I guess this is what it means to be me. Everyone's scared of you. I thought I was accustomed to it already. But sometimes it was surprisingly painful. We all have the same red blood. This bench had become a perch for me where I could only sigh over and over again. Sure, I could choose anyone to be my husband, but that freedom means nothing if things stay like this. Maybe someone can introduce a man to me. Are we gonna go to Yosuga for that? We did that Riku's route. We're like, can you introduce us to like a husband? And he ended up just locking us with Riku. I was like, there you go. Hi. You don't look well. Yes, something happened. Ah! He must have seen me sigh so helplessly just now. I was so embarrassed that I couldn't even look at him. Do you need me to check any letters? No, I don't have any for you today. But nice that you came all the way over here to ask. I'm good for now. I may have some for you later this afternoon. So, would you like to share why you were sighing and looking so troubled out here in the plaza? You already know why, don't you? And how is your search? Having some trouble. It's been fruitless. Well, I've only just started, and I do have a full year to find someone. There is no one you have met so far who you believe would be good for you. Good for me? Someone you feel you can trust, who would take care of you and protect you. Someone who is kind. Who are you going to imagine? Soga. Akaza, no doubt. But how about Kuroba or Tokisada? I am certain they would all make fine husbands. No one at all. Not even one. You don't think I'm nice? Sure, I know Akaza and Kuroba are good people and can be trusted. And I respect them too, but it just didn't feel right. Strange, considering I didn't have the slightest clue what love was really about. All the men here run away from me. I keep trying to strike up a conversation with them, but they run away scared. Then how about me? What? I would never choose you. I'm gonna find a good husband myself. you just wanna pick someone else because you don't wanna do what he says. Being contrarian. Yes, that's more like you. I don't think any man who believes in baseless rumors is fit to be your husband. So if they turn away from you, let them be and move on. Is he trying to cheer me up? You are naive and good-natured, so I am somewhat concerned that you may be deceived by dishonest men. You are of the rare white blood. There are those who may exploit that for political gain. I'll be fine. I'm good at telling if a person is good or bad. On what basis? Vibes? The music changing? Are you saying that living on an island of only women, then keeping to yourself for years in Lord Doma's manor has given you that ability? He has a point. Well, I did tell you that you can choose anyone you wish. I suppose I should trust you. You don't need to worry about me. One of these days, I'll come visit you with my future husband. Rub it in his nose. I promptly stood up from the bench and stormed out of the plaza. You can't tell me what to do. Alright, back down to Yomi. I was back at Yomi now, looking at the moon dial. Well, if the sundial plaza doesn't work, let's go down to the moon dial. And that just passed 1 o'clock. Maybe it's still too early to check on the letterbox. This is my office and bedroom, so only those I trust are allowed to enter. If you do not see me out front, I will almost certainly be here. Come and visit anytime. I don't have any reason to go, but I wouldn't mind having a conversation with him. I'm back, Camellia. Do you know where Yosoga is? Lord Yosoga is in his room. He's talking to Asaha now. Oh, really? Asaha's here. You did say I could come in anytime, so... Good afternoon, it's me. Is it alright if I come in? Ah, welcome. Please come in. My eyes met Asaha's the moment I stepped inside. Nice, fancy seeing you here. There were a bunch of books lying open in front of him. Oh, is he like teaching him how to read and stuff? Is he educating him? Was he studying? Sis, good afternoon. Ah, that's right. Karoba has introduced you. I'm sorry if I'm bothering you two. Not at all. We are just about finished. That's right. I'm sorry about Hyrie the other day. Let me apologize for him. I'm trying to remember what Hyrie did recently. Like, he called us some mean words in the last round. What did Hyrie say? I mean, it was a bit mean, but the right answer is nothing really important. Nothing we can really blame him for, I guess. Nothing really important. I assume he was very harsh with you. He's known for hating everyone on the surface. I hope you accept my apologies as well. Don't worry, it really didn't bother me. Well, I just hope you don't hate Hyrie for what he said. Then again, I'm sure he's going to be nasty to you again next time. I'll make sure I apologize to you each time it happens. Oh, thank you for apologizing for your friend. You don't have to worry about that. I wouldn't hate him over something like that. That's a relief. Well, I'll talk to him and tell him to be a bit friendlier next time. If you could, please. I'd like to talk to him more. And of course, I want to be even better friends with you, Asaha. Oh. Asaha? I see the blush of youth on your face. She is looking for a husband. Why not present yourself? I think he's a little young. If Toki-sana was like the limit, being just like a year younger, he's still a child. We can't wait. We can't wait like however many years, like 8, 10 years. Pretty sure someone would protest, be like, Byakuya can't wait that long to make babies. So stop it. You're such a dummy, Yosuga. Don't say stuff like that. I was just looking at her white hair. It's really pretty. Oh, Asaha, man, putting on the Riz here. In that moment, those words took me by surprise. They felt really nice. Seeing Asaha's eyes glitter with curiosity was making me blush in turn. Thank you. You're the first person who's ever praised my hair like that, Asaha. But, maybe if you're a little older. Maybe if there's like a sequel game where they like age a bunch of the other characters up and have Asaha be like one of the candidates. When I saw you the other day, I was a little bit worried. You're not actually sick, are you? You're healthy? That white hair isn't from Haku, is it? Don't worry, I'm very healthy. The women of the white just have this color hair and eyes. That's why we're called women of the white. I figured as much. So mysterious. Do kind of wonder, like, what color is Asaha? Would he turn like one of the Tenyo Island women's hair like a rainbow colored? Would it be like a bunch of little like sparkly colors in there mixed with black? Well, you have beautiful hair and eyes too, Asaha. I know, you're not just like one color. You're just like, you're all of them. There's like a little bit of red, a little sprinkle of blue, little brushstroke of yellow, and then green eyes. I think he also has like bluish pupils as well. They just like threw all the colors in there. What? Asa gave a start and stared at me in surprise. Then he grabbed his hair roughly and looked down at the floor. Oh, he like probably feels ashamed of it, and probably other people have probably made him feel bad for it. Really? You really think so? Asaha, she is not the type to lie, so you do not need to worry. Don't worry, Asa. She may be from above, but you can trust her. I felt saddened remembering that Kuroba also needed to reassure him. I especially like the color of your eyes, Asa. They're so unique and pretty. He doesn't know how to take a compliment. Very solely, Asa has unique, pretty eyes filled with tears. I glanced over at Yosuga. Oh no, we're making him cry. We both looked away, pretending not to notice. It was clear that Asa was trying his best to hold them back. Asa, I have some sweets for you. Yosuga wore a comforting expression and opened a canister he carried on his waist. Does he just have candy with him? Here you go, little boy. The pattern is so pretty. The canister was usually hidden under his robe, but now I could clearly see its beautiful mother-of-pearl exterior. It is Kanpeito today. Yay, I love these! I couldn't take my eyes off Yosuga. He was always graceful and never showed any signs of hardship. It was hard to believe he lived through the plague that struck the purple. Do not forget your homework. Now I will see you the day after tomorrow. Alright, I'll see you. Your hair. What about my hair? Is he gonna throw a compliment in there? No, it's nothing. Oh. Does he not? Did he decide to back out? It's like, if I call her pretty, like you won't be able to act on it. I was curious about what he wanted to say, but I immediately understood that he didn't want to dwell on the subject, leaving me with nothing else to talk about. Asa looks up to Kuroba. I guess he decided to take the initiative to change the subject. Kuroba was raised in the orphanage in Yomi as part of the black class, then rose up to become deputy director of the Kodawari. So he said he wants to become a doctor like Kuroba one day. That's a wonderful dream. I'm behind him for sure. Kuroba often comes down here for meals, but he doesn't have much time on his hands. Which is why I decided to teach him what I could. He seems like he'd be a really great teacher. I'm jealous. Wait, jealous? Me? As I tried to figure out where that strange feeling came from, Yosuga looked directly at me. By the way, I heard you were talking to Akaza and the others about me. I hope you're not mad. You're not mad, right? You are called the Lord of Hell. Huh? I stepped back in surprise. Were you trying to keep it a secret? I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be nosy. Tsukiyomi apologized to me last night as well. Uh-oh. Don't be mad. About sharing details with you regarding the purple class. Well, first of all, allow me to apologize for causing you such concern. Do not worry, I am fine. His grape-colored eyes were gentle and kind. There was not one blemish in them, which is why I was compelled to ask. Does that mean you don't want to return to the surface? That is correct. Hearing his reply made the insides of my stomach cold. Regardless of what happened, I've grown fond of living in Yomi. I see. I would even go as far as saying that it is far better here without the insufferable color class system. Tsukiyomi and Camellia have also been very kind to me. I recall the time he was whining Camellia's spring. Wonder how long he's had Camellia. What is it? Has it been like since he was a kid? He's right. If he's that close to Camellia, she'd be so sad if he went away. Why didn't I even think of that? I was just being sad and restless for no reason. And are you not beginning to feel rather comfortable here in Yomi yourself? Well, I tried as hard as possible to see what was inside my mind. What was underneath all of my thoughts? I certainly wouldn't say I dislike Yomi. If I had to make a choice, I'd say I like it. Which is why I have no intention of telling you that Yomi is a horrible place you should escape. You just feel like... It's like the choice, though. Being able to go, like, up and down. And worse, without you, who will pick up Camellia and rewind her spring? But... my lips shook a bit. I was scared to look at his eyes. But I wasn't saying anything embarrassing. I think I just don't like the idea of you being treated like a criminal when you did nothing wrong. You're not a bad person. Of course, I understand Haku is a disease that should be feared and avoided at all costs. Even so. Yeah, it's very wrong of the island to just blame it on, like, a child who had no control over it. I just want people like Doma to know that you're a good person. He stared at me silently. His deep purple eyes were fixed on me. I'm sorry. I really shouldn't have interfered when I never asked how you felt about it, Yosuga. I really need to learn to control myself. How can you be sure I'm not a bad person? I held my breath, hearing his unexpected response. Well, you've always been nice to Byakuya, like every single route. You've been at least kind to her. I have lived in Yomi for some time now, even naming myself the Steward of Hell, Jigoku Dayu. For all you know, I may have deceived hundreds and killed just as many. Please don't say that. I mean, he could, but yeah, like, even bad people have someone they like and cherish. Please don't say that. My heart was confused despite my response. I didn't know him well enough to refute what he said. All I knew was what I learned from others in my search for the truth. I'm sorry. I just had to tease you. You went white as a sheet. What other color could I be? His eyes narrowed slightly without a word. Oh, well, I better get going. Oh, I thought you came to see me for a reason. We just wanted to hang. Well... I didn't have a real reason for coming. I just wanted to see his face and hear his voice. I'm sorry. I completely forgot what I wanted to ask you about. I'm gonna clear my throat. Now then, if you'll excuse me. Sayonara. Bye. I'm gonna confuse him. Like, I thought you wanted something. Like a love fortune or something. What is wrong with me? Alright, you are still with us.
Hime, is there a problem?
Well, let's go check in the letterbox, Daifuku. After confirming the box was empty, I left the bathhouse. As I took a casual stroll towards the plaza, a certain figure caught my attention. What's he doing there? Under the moondial was Asaha sitting on the ground. It looked like he had a set of shoe-shining tools spread out in front of him, but he was reading a book intently. Asaha! Hello again. Welcome. I see you got a nice business. That's great. Could you shine my shoes for me? Of course. I'll shine them real good. Can you put your foot down on this rest, please? Sure. You know, I really appreciate it. I remembered what Yosuga told me earlier as I looked at Asaha holding his brush. I heard you want to become a doctor. Huh? It was Yosuga, wasn't it? but can you keep it a secret from Dr. Kuroba? I want to surprise him. You could ask, Kuroba can help teach you. I'm pretty sure Kuroba has like materials that you could learn from. I promise. Alright, maybe he just wants to learn the basics from Yosuga first. Yeah, he gotta learn his basics first. Although Yosuga seems more of an expert on apothecary on apothecary things. Which I suppose would still be useful down in Yomi. Alright, well, we'll promise to keep the secret. I have to admit, it's really impressive that you're preparing for the future already. Grandma Stick says that Yomi men are good for nothing, so I want to show her otherwise. Grandma Sticks? What? Like the river Styx? Grandma Sticks? That's what we call her. She gets real mad when we say that, but I don't know her name. Oh, it's like a bad name for her. She's like a grouchy old lady. There's a boathouse at the end of the canal, and that's where she lives. Of course she lives near a canal. She's probably not a bad person, but boy, can she be scary. Grandma Sticks? As in the river Styx from the story? What an awful nickname. I wonder what she means by what she said about Yomi men. Probably had some bad experience with men in general. Asa quickly polished my shoes as I pondered over this Grandma Sticks person. There you go, all done. Thank you, they're so shiny now. Here you go. Thank you very much. Please come again. Asa carefully tucked the coin into his pocket, then gave me a good stare. What is it? Oh, is something the matter? What, you might get mad, so... Now I was really curious what he wanted to say. Don't worry, I won't get angry. What does he want to say? Well... Is it okay if I touch your hair just a bit? Aw. I would let him. He's just an innocent kid. He asked. That's very nice that he actually asked instead of just like grabbing for it. I felt a bit nervous about his sudden request. But Asaha's eyes were no different from earlier. He looked at me like I was some kind of treasure. Sure. I crouched down a bit and he hesitantly reached out to me. Is this an Asaha route? What are we doing? He gingerly touched my hair and... Ah, your hair isn't cold after all. Huh? Cold? What do you mean? You think I'll be like some ice woman or something? I'm sorry. Well, let me explain. Yosuga said something to me. Hearing his name made my heart jump. He said your hair is as pure white and beautiful as the snow. Do we have snow on this island? I could feel my heart leap again. So I thought your hair would be cold like snow. No, it's just a comparison. we're not actually a snow woman. Oh, not that I've ever seen snow in my life. Yosuga said snow is like shaved ice. Shaved ice? Yes, I guess you could say that. I replied with a smile that seemed to burst forth out of nowhere. My heart was filled with a swirl of emotions. Asa has never seen snow before. I doubt it would snow down here in Yomi. Of course, that also meant that he had never seen the real sun before. Beyond those disheartening clouds of thought, something shone brilliantly in my mind. He said your hair is as pure as white and beautiful as snow. You're just gonna lock onto the compliment. Like, oh, he said I was beautiful. Oh my. Yosuga said that? Really? He never told me so himself. I wonder what he thought of me. I began to worry about it and couldn't seem to calm myself down. Oh no, it's getting the vapors. He's never said it in person before, has he? I didn't miss him saying that, right? Yeah, he's been very silent. He's helped you out, but yeah, he doesn't want to flirt with you. He's afraid of what might happen. I might have just heard something that I wasn't supposed to hear. But now that I knew... Asa, there's something I need to do, so I have to get going. Thank you for the shoe shine. Huh? Sure, see ya. Where are we going? Are we going back to the bathhouse? Be like, hey, did you compliment me? What am I doing? Of course I wanted to see Yosuke again after hearing that, but... What am I gonna say to him? Like, you wanna flirt? You wanna flirt with me? Just be direct? No. We're gonna waffle around a bit. Gonna dance around the subject. My legs were heavy as I tried to make my way to the bathhouse. It's Masuhana. Lady Olympia, please wait. Suddenly, I heard Masuhana call out for me from behind. Oh? Please excuse me for stopping you like this. I just wanted to apologize for what happened before. It's no problem. I just, forgot something at the bathhouse. That's why I was going there. Is that so? Yusugi asked if I could apologize to you on her behalf. She asked if you could please forgive her rudeness, and that it was entirely her fault. No, she's not. She got scared. You can't blame her for that. She also wanted to express her sincere gratitude for your delivery of her letter. Oh, so then she was the one who wrote that letter to the Yellow. Yes, I believe it was to her parents in the Yellow District. Masuhana paused for a moment, looking down. Masuhana? Lady Olympia, I know it must have been terribly surprising, but please forgive her. The truth is, she arrived in Yomi only recently. I heard her hair color changed after an illness of some sort. I never heard of a disease that can change a person's hair color. It wasn't really the disease though, it was the cure. I'm afraid I don't know all the details myself. All I do know is, she does not wish for anyone to see her. I'm concerned she'll grow even more reclusive and depressed, so I took her out for a walk, but... I could tell Masuhana was hesitant to continue. You're not at fault at all. I see. I tried to remember Yusugi from yesterday. I didn't recall seeing the color of her hair. Her face and head were completely hidden under her scarf and hood. After that, Yusugi has been so regretful. Please, forgive her. I'm not angry in the slightest. Now that I understand, I'm more worried about her. I agree, but all we can do is wait for time to heal her wounds. I nodded quietly in response. The fear she displayed wasn't directed at me. It was directed at herself. I hope the day comes soon that I can see her smile. Yes, I pray for that day as well. Yusugi truly admires you, Lady Olympia. She has told me all about your performances on stage. Really? I'm somewhat embarrassed. She said the sun rising over the horizon illuminates your very beauty. Oh my. She also said, though she cannot see it again, she'll forever keep the memory in her heart. Hearing her talk of it in such a way makes me want to come up to the surface too. If only I could. Masuhana looked away in shame. It's like no use wishing for it. I meant nothing. Please forget what I said. That's right. Yomogi was also delighted by her new letter. Oh, Masuhana is just like taking care of all the poor girls in Yomi. I felt helpless as she forced a smile on her face. But there was nothing I could do right now to bring her to the surface. I'm glad to hear it. Please let her know I can deliver any more letters she wants to write. I know. By the way, Masuhana, you know a person called Grandma Styx? Oh, you mean Lady Katsuyama? I've only just heard about her, but I'm a bit worried. Did something happen? One of the boys here told me she said that the men of Yomi are good for nothings. I could tell Masuhana wasn't happy to hear that. She gave an obvious frown that seemed so unlike her graceful demeanor. Lady Katsuyama is a midwife, so perhaps she said it as a joke. Either something bad happened to her with the men of Yomi, or maybe she says they're good for nothings, because, I don't know, maybe because they're not being men and taking action. I kind of think, like, what would a rebellion, what would a rebellion take, like, to actually succeed? Do the people of Yomi, like, outnumber the people on the surface? Or, like, at least the military? Because it seems like, for the color classes, it's very rare to even, like, get like, a pure color, like, of the primary or secondary. So, like, everyone else probably outnumbers the nobles at this point. A midwife? Yeah, maybe Grandma Styx is like, these men are useless. Like, if they wanted to, they could get out of here. Like, they just have to, like, band together. I don't know. Maybe we'll probably bump into Grandma Styx. I would completely disregard what that boy said. Something isn't right at all. Well, maybe Masuhana would understand her better as, like, a woman, while the kids are just, like, spreading rumors. She's just the mean old lady. I could see she was smiling, but there was something awkward about it. Well, I should be going. I'm sorry for taking so much of your time. With that, Masuhana quickly walked away. He's like, I don't want to engage in that subject anymore. I wanted to stop her to ask a bit more about it, but I didn't want to involve her unnecessarily. Here I go again, butting into people's business even when I'm not a resident of Yomi. I probably know nothing at all about Yomi or even Yosuga. You said your hair is as pure white and beautiful as the snow. You're gonna keep thinking of that phrase. I twirled a bit of my hair around my finger. It was white, just as it had always been. Daifuku, I think we should head home.
Oh, shall we?
The truth is that I lived on the surface. I'm merely an outsider to the people of Yomi. So getting myself involved in their affairs is... you always seem to get involved regardless. Do not worry, I am fine. I made my way back to Yomotsu Hirasaka, feeling helpless and feeling like I didn't belong here. Okay, next chapter. Beautifully sinister. Okay. Who's the beautifully sinister? I'm guessing person. I think it's referring to Yosuga. He did infer that, like, hey, how do you know I'm not a bad person? Alright, well, we're gonna have to find that out in the next episode. Alrighty. A little bit shorter this time. Need to, like, drink some water. Refill my coffee. Alrighty, well. A little bit less heavy of a chapter. But yeah, like, getting to know, like, the interaction with Asaha and Yosuga was cute. Like, yeah, Asaha has a lot of, like, older brothers, it seems. Like, helping him and teaching him, looking out for him. Like, finally got to see Yosuga a little bit more. And I was like, last chapter is like, nothing. We avoided him the whole time. Alright, anywho. Hope you guys are having a fun and relaxing time, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.